The Battle of Leyte Gulf, fought from October 23 to 26, 1944, stands as one of the most decisive and largest naval engagements in world history. Occurring in the waters near the Philippine islands of Leyte, Samar, and Luzon, this massive conflict between the Allied forces, primarily the United States and Australia, and the Imperial Japanese Navy (IJN), marked a turning point in the Pacific theater of World War II. Strategic background. By 1944, the tide of the war in the Pacific had turned in favor of the Allies. The Japanese Empire was reeling from successive defeats, and American forces were steadily advancing toward the Japanese mainland. The Philippines, once under American control, had been occupied by Japan since 1942. General Douglas MacArthur, who had famously vowed to return to the Philippines, viewed their liberation as both a strategic necessity and a moral imperative. The invasion of Leyte Island on October 20, 1944, was the opening move in the campaign to recapture the Philippines. In response, Japan launched a bold but ultimately disastrous naval counteroffensive aimed at crippling the Allied fleet and halting the landings. The Japanese plan. The Japanese naval strategy, known as Shogo 1, was complex and risky. It involved luring the main American fleet away from Leyte Gulf by using a decoy carrier force while three separate Japanese naval forces, Central, Southern, and Northern, would converge on the landing area to destroy the vulnerable invasion fleet. Key engagements of the battle. The Battle of Leyte Gulf unfolded as a series of interconnected clashes across four major engagements. The Battle of the Sibuyan Sea, October 24. The American Third Fleet, under Admiral William Halsey, engaged the Japanese Center Force under Admiral Takeo Kurita. The Americans inflicted significant damage, sinking the battleship Musashi, one of the largest battleships ever built, but Kurita's fleet continued through the San Bernardino Strait. The Battle of Surigao Strait, October 25. This was the last battleship-to-battleship engagement in history. The U.S. 7th Fleet, commanded by Rear Admiral Jesse Oldendorf, annihilated the Japanese Southern Force in a night battle. Using a classic naval maneuver known as crossing the T, the Americans decimated the approaching Japanese ships with coordinated gunfire and torpedoes. The battle off Cape Engano, October 25. Admiral Halsey, lured away by the Japanese Northern Force, a decoy fleet composed largely of aircraft carriers with few planes, pursued them far from Leyte. Although Halsey sank 4 Japanese carriers, the action left the invasion fleet temporarily exposed. The battle off Samar, October 25. In one of the most heroic naval actions in U.S. history, a small group of American escort carriers and destroyers, known as Taffy 3, faced off against the much larger Japanese center force. Despite being outgunned and outnumbered, the American ships fought with extraordinary bravery and managed to repel the Japanese assault, preventing them from attacking the landing forces at Leyte. Aftermath and significance. The Battle of Leyte Gulf was a catastrophic defeat for the Japanese Navy. They lost 4 aircraft carriers, 3 battleships, 10 cruisers, and 11 destroyers. More significantly, Japan lost the ability to conduct large-scale naval operations. The battle effectively destroyed Japan's capacity to defend its empire and allowed the Allies to retake the Philippines. The battle also saw the first organized use of kamikaze suicide attacks by Japanese pilots, signaling a shift in Japanese tactics born of desperation. Legacy. Leyte Gulf remains a testament to the strategic brilliance and courage of those involved. It confirmed Allied naval supremacy in the Pacific and paved the way for the eventual invasion of Okinawa and, ultimately, Japan. The bravery of small American units in the face of overwhelming odds, especially at Samar, became legendary. The Battle of Leyte Gulf was not just a massive naval engagement, it was a battle for the future of the Pacific. Its outcome ensured that the momentum of World War II remained firmly in Allied hands and marked the beginning of the end for Imperial Japan.